5 o'clock, so I'll call the Board of Works, the Prue Board of Public Works meeting for January 15th, 2016 into order. Tish, can you go and do a roll call?
Yes. Board Member Funk?
Present.
Mayor Greer?
Here.
Board Member Holland?
Here.
All right.
Okay. Everyone's here. We have our legal representation and the city clerk. First item is the reading and approving of previous meetings minutes. I would ask for just an acceptance of the submission of the last administration's minutes. No, we weren't at the last meeting, so we're just going to accept them as submitted. If I can have a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? So we'll approve the last meeting's minutes. Next is payment of claims. Now, this is my first Board of Works meeting. I've been to too many. I'm not sure if we need any discussion.
No, make a motion.
A positive motion to approve them.
Okay. Be looking for a motion to approve payment claims.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All right. I don't think we have any discussion about the receipts of the payments, so all in favor of
Aye.
Aye.
opposed? All right, so the bills are paid. Next thing on next is old business. Seeing no old business, we'll move into new business. First item is Donald Fisher, a request for a handicap parking spot at 64 South Holman Street. Now, is Donald Fisher here or anybody, any remonstrators about the request for the handicap parking spot? Okay. I don't see anybody from the street department here to talk about it. Basically, this is next to the Ivy Tech school, and we have some handicapped residents that are having problems finding parking at Holman. So they requested a handicap parking spot at 64 South Holman Street. I don't know if there's any questions or discussion about that. I don't know if either one of you have any questions about it.
Well, I think just in addition to help clarify that down there, there's signs that are put up that say that it's for public parking, but there's nothing really enforceable about that. I mean, it's just it's a recommendation to not park there, and so the students and stuff of Ivy Tech use that a lot to park in front of there. Well, this gentleman's requesting a spot that he can park, being that he's handicapped, in front of his house. He's really only got the one space that's allotted kind of right in front of his house. So if we put up another sign right there that just says, hey, this is just public parking or residential parking, I should say, then it does nothing more than what the other signs that are already there are doing. They're still going to park there. But if it's a handicap spot that's designated there, then it's actually enforceable and can be fined for somebody else parking there and taking that spot. Just to help clarify. So now is there money?
What if another handicapped person parks there?
That's fine.
It's still a public.
Yeah, it's a
That's what
public
I'm trying to
spot.
realize.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a public spot, and it's a public street, so it's not reserved for a specific person. But seeing how there is handicapped people that live in that area that can't find parking. So, there's no other discussion. Motion to place a handicap sign in front of the residents of 64 South Holman Street would be in order.
Motion to approve handicap parking spot at 64 South Holman Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Some of you might see on the agenda the fire department rules and regulations. I think the media, we told them that's actually not on the list tonight, so we're going to move into update interlocal agreement between Peru, Mexico, and Denver. Chief, would you like to?
Absolutely.
I'll go ahead and get a motion to, well, do we need a motion to put this on the floor, to talk about it?
If it's on, if you got it on the agenda, I don't think so.
Okay.
What this is in Peru Township, we cover 25 square miles. An interlocal agreement with Mexico and Denver when we're dispatched to a structure fire to bring us water supply. Okay, so they are dual dispatch with us to bring us water. We're showing up with 2 engines, 2,500 gallons of water, and then they're bringing us tanker support. And basically, that's what we want from them is water. So we've had this interlocal agreement where we pay them to do that, because if it's just a mutual aid agreement, they may be tied up, they may not have the manpower, but because we have this interlocal agreement where we pay them $2,000 a year, each department, to bring us water, it's worked really well. So, and you know, I understand, Pat, you have looked at the wording on that, but if we need to tweak that, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let's define what service they are to provide, because it wasn't clear to me when I
Sure.
looked at the past what it was. And if that's what it is, that they're bringing one tanker truck each, we'll put that in, enter into the agreement, and everybody can execute it and go
Okay.
on with life.
And that's basically what we want is water. So they get dual tone with us. So our engines are showing up, their tankers are showing up, and we're knocking the fire down. That's the intent of the agreement.
So up to this point, then, that guys,
Very well, yeah.
and so there's nothing that really needed to be changed other than just some verbiage.
Yeah, it's my understanding that when Pat reviewed that, he would have liked to maybe clarify it a little more, and I'm okay with that. I mean, if we need to tweak that, and they'll be okay with it, both Denver and Mexico. They understand what the agreement's been, and it's worked really well. They understand what the agreement is.
Yeah, it's basically putting into writing what you guys have agreed on verbally in the past.
You know.
Has the $2,000 right amount each time that,
Yeah, they're happy with it, and that's a contractual base for, in 6 months, so half a year, they get 1,000, but they've been happy with it, and again, with that monetary amount, they make sure they've got the manpower to bring us water, and it's worked well on all the structure fires we've had, so.
Okay. Well, if we want to add some language to that, then we'll a motion to table it so we can add that into the interlocal agreement would be in order.
I'll make a motion to table the interlocal agreement till next month, and until Pat has further reviewed this and added the correct verbiage.
second,
All right.
unless you weren't finished.
Nope, I wasn't.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and so we'll table that for next month. And now we have the police department's promotions. Mike, would you like to, you can come up or
Sure.
give us an idea of what your plans are?
You do have copies?
Yeah, I think we all have copies of all the promotions.
Okay. Would you like me to read each letter individually, or do you want me to just go over each officer? I guess, I'm not sure how you'd like me to proceed with this.
If you just want to mention each officer and tell us each officer, their current rank and which rank you're asking for a promotion for,
Okay.
I think that would be sufficient.
Okay, good enough. As I said, I know each of you have letters that I've submitted for each of the officers, and each officer that I'm going to mention is actually a patrolman at this time, so
Okay.
I'll just go into that. Steve Hoover, who's been with the department for 19 years and has held various ranks within our department and also with the Sheriff's Department, I'm asking the Board of Works for approval for him to be the Assistant Chief. Steve has kind of taken on that role already since the first of the year, and between him and I and Bill Raber, I think those guys have just been amazing for me to this point already. You know, he's still serving in the patrolman role, but in those different positions. So to begin with, like I said, with Steve Hoover, I'd like to see him promoted to the Assistant Chief, an invaluable asset to the department, does a great job. So just asking for that approval for him first and foremost.
Okay. As we can just take this officer by officer. motion for Steve Hoover to be Assistant Chief would be in order.
Motion to promote Patrolman Steve Hoover to Assistant Chief of Police.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? There's no opposed, so Steve's our new Assistant Chief.
The next officer that I mentioned just a little bit ago is Bill Raber. Bill has been with the department for 27 years and served wonderfully in the Chief of Police's position before for 9 years, and also as the Assistant Chief in the past as well for 5 years. Bill's also served in the Detectives Division, as well as having served as a road sergeant or boss on the road in charge of shifts. Once again, just an amazing asset for me there to have those two right there beside me in those offices and to be the number 2 and 3 in charge. I just can't say enough about it. I know I've talked to a lot of people in the community, and I tell them who are in those spots, and the community is excited about it, and I know I am too, and I'm hoping the Board of Works is as well. But to get back to this, though, Bill, I'm hoping that he will be in charge of the training and also of our road officers in a role of a captain's position. So that's what I'm asking for the Board of Works to approve tonight.
Gotcha. All right, well, a motion to promote Patrolman Bill Raber to the rank of Administrative Captain would be in order.
I'll make the motion to approve Patrolman Raber to Administrative Captain.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I guess I need to apologize to those guys, and they're going to hate me for maybe pointing them out, but Steve Hoover is over here to the third row over to the left, just for, I'm not sure if all three of you, Kristen, I'm not sure if you're.
I met him just this morning.
Did you?
It was
Okay,
a
good.
wonderful experience.
And then Bill Raber's in the stripes right there in the middle of
Yeah.
the fourth row there, so. Okay, the next officer is Patrolman Samantha Raber. Samantha's been with us for 4 years and is actually an active member of the Indiana National Guard for 9 years, where she holds the rank of Staff Sergeant. When new officers come in, it's kind of exciting to see how they take on that role of leadership, and when they get to that point of I don't want to say being nervous, but being a little bit apprehensive to the stepping up and taking that leadership role. Every officer that I've talked to appreciates what Samantha's done, especially for having such a short amount of time with our department. She's just taken off, and with us being such a young department and having now 6 new officers, I've watched her in that leadership role, be it talking in between shifts and things that I've seen. So I think she'll be just great for our guys, great leader, and she's proven herself, at least in my eyes, just in the passing and the times that I've seen her, and has a lot of respect amongst her peers in the department. So once again, they're going to hate me, but Samantha's seated back here in the uniform, just so you kind of have a face with a name there. But I'm asking for Samantha to be promoted from a patrolman to a sergeant.
And Samantha's also the term escapes me right now. She's on the secretary of the pension board.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, she is.
and that's voted on amongst the officers. Is that correct?
Amongst the officers that are currently on the pension board, yes.
Okay.
Yes, she did take on that role actually just earlier this week, yes.
Well, motion to promote Patrolman Samantha Raber to the rank of sergeant would be in order.
Motion to promote Patrolman Samantha Raber to the rank of sergeant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? And so Samantha is the sergeant.
Okay, next is going to be Matthew Feller. Matt's been with the Peru Police Department for 13 years. Unfortunately, Matt is actually currently working a case as we speak here in the department, so he wasn't able to attend. Matt's got a bachelor's degree from Ball State University. He's been with our department, as I said, for 13 years. He also was a jailer with the Miami County Sheriff's Department for a short amount of time as well. Matt's been to crime scene investigation school as well as a Reed School for interrogations and interviews. Matt does a phenomenal job. He's probably, if not the most organized, one of the most organized guys we have. And when you're talking about investigations, you definitely need that in that role. Matt's got a lot of respect amongst everybody here too. Actually, everybody we're promoting or hoping to promote tonight has that same sentiment from all the officers that we have in our department. So hoping to have Matt promoted from a patrolman to the captain in investigations.
Okay. So a motion to promote Patrolman Matthew Feller to the rank of Captain of Investigations.
Make that motion to promote Patrolman Matthew Investigations.
All right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And I think if they don't want to repeat everything I said, you could say so moved. If you want, if either one of you want to make the motion. Might make it a little bit briefer, I think.
Next up is John Richardson. John's been with the department for 27 years. He's held several different roles within the department, including several supervisory positions within the department. He's been a vital member of the Miami County Drug Task Force in the past for 8 years as well. John typically works third shifts. A lot of people maybe aren't familiar with his face and maybe didn't even know he's still with our department, quite honestly. But John, invaluable resource for the guys, with all the experience he has and the different avenues and different things he's seen within our department, does a great job. So I'm just requesting the board to approve John Richardson from the rank of patrolman to lieutenant.
All right. Motion to promote Patrolman John Richardson to the rank of lieutenant would be in order.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, so that carries.
Jay Richardson. Jay Richardson is a patrolman right now with the department. He's been with us for over 16 years. Once again, as maybe what I said with Samantha, I've seen a lot of our new guys really migrate to Samantha and migrate to Jay when they have questions. I even ask Jay for questions. I have questions sometimes too, just to kind of tell you the trust that we all have in Jay and the phenomenal job that he does with our department. Jay graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Purdue, and he is a generalist instructor and an FTO or field training officer for our department as well. So just asking Jay Richardson to be promoted from a patrolman to a lieutenant.
Well, if there's no discussion, a motion to promote Patrolman Jay Richardson to the rank of lieutenant would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the motion carries.
And then lastly, for the promotions, is going to be with our department now for over 13 years. He also has graduated from the Reed School of Interview and Interrogations and is also a crime scene technician, or he's been through the crime scene investigation school. He also holds awards concerning drunk driving awards as well. So he's been a seasoned road officer and as well as an investigator for our department. Rod's also held detective ranks of sergeant before and also a sergeant rank within the patrol division. Between him and Matt, they're two guys that you can just say, go get the job done, and you don't even have to follow up with them. You just know the job's going to get done. And matter of fact, like I said, he also could not be in attendance tonight because they're actively working a case as we speak. So between those two and the tandem that they create there, couldn't ask for two better investigators, quite honestly. So Rod would be in it with the detective division as well as a sergeant. So just asking that Rod would be promoted from a patrolman to a sergeant.
All right. If there's no discussion, then a motion to promote Patrolman Rodney Richard to the rank of sergeant with the detectives division would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so motion passes. So we have one last order with you, I think. Is that right? We just have the one resignation now?
Actually, I have, let me see which one is that one?
Utley?
This is Jason Utley. Was there another item besides that?
There is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I just want Officer Utley, who was from the Evansville area. He was still actually he was a new officer with us. He was still a probationary officer. He approached me earlier this week and said that he had received a offer for employment down near Evansville where he was at. Officer Utley expressed the fact that he was having problems selling his house down there and that his wife and his child, I believe, were still staying down there as well. But he chose to accept a position, I believe it was with the Chandler Police Department, which is a small 6-man department in that location. Officer Utley offered a 2-week notice. I told him I appreciated that, but I thought it would be in the best interest of him and as well as the city, since he was still a training officer and wasn't technically part of our manpower, that I went ahead and granted him the opportunity to go ahead and leave immediately if he so chose. So I typed a letter there asking for the board's approval to approve his resignation and to make you aware of the fact that there would be another opening within the department.
Gotcha, yeah. And like, officer makes coverage because he hadn't finished the training to be part of our patrol coverage in the city yet, so, it does open up another position that needs to be filled. So, if there's no questions or discussion, a motion to accept the resignation of Jason Utley would be in order.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
And then here's just a couple more things. I may have to have an opinion on this, but I will present these to you. Along with the promotions that we had, I don't know if I necessarily needed to bring this to the board's attention, but I think just to put it on record, that we had made and the promotions that we had made, a couple of officers opted to go ahead and resign their rank. These are not demotions, however, they chose to, like as I said, just give up their rank. So I wanted to bring that to the board's attention as well.
So both of these are under their own volition. They wrote these letters and said, I'd rather go back to this position,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And that's Lieutenant Russ Tussey, second shift command. Is it Sergeant
Yes.
Sherman Fisher?
Yes. Once again, I don't know that I necessarily, I guess, once again, maybe consulting the three of you, but also Mr. Roberts here. It's not a deal where I think you're going to have to worry about any kind of appeal from those officers. They just voluntarily stepped down from their positions of rank that they had.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that technically be considered a demotion? I mean, they're gonna, with that rank comes
Well, they're not being demoted. It's a voluntary
Right.
surrender of their rank.
right, by a surrender of their rank, but they're losing pay in the same respect,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
But as far as coming from the administration, it's not.
Right,
technically-
right,
it
right,
is, but it isn't, yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead and,
I
are you
just
looking
say
for these to be?
Accept the resignations of their position.
Yeah.
And so they return to rank of patrolman, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is stuff that we can pass tonight, or accept these resignations tonight? Okay. All right, I will, would ask for an acceptance of the resignation of ranks for Lieutenant Russ Tussey and Sergeant, what's it?
Let's do it individually.
Yeah, we can do it individually, it's fine. I'll just ask for a motion to accept the resignation of Lieutenant Russ Tussey.
So moved.
I don't want to second that,
Okay.
just because of the terminology.
Okay.
And it's not a resignation, it's a, how did you put it?
Surrender of,
Yeah, so we
surrender
use
of
that
rank, maybe?
terminology.
Sure.
Is that all right? I'd rather use that terminology so that,
Maybe
Yeah, and I'm just
if you
going
could
by
put
what's actually on the
voluntary-
letter.
voluntary
yes, their voluntary surrender of position.
Right. Yeah, and I'm just going by the wording of Lieutenant Tussey's actual letter here, where he said, "I will be resigning my position." So I'm just going by what the wording is on here.
It's kind of poorly stated, if you ask me.
Yeah.
It seems like, hey, I no longer want to be employed with the city of Burke.
Well, and it's not employment, it's he's resigned his position.
His position, I understand, but again, I think we're in agreement that the terminology is not, so if we could just rephrase it,
Okay.
so,
Would you like to make a motion?
great.
Well, but
So now that I've said all this, now I have.
Now that you have
strike
an
the
issue.
current motion.
Yeah. Move to strike the current motion.
Second.
Or- Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a go. All right, so I would like to make the motion to accept the voluntary surrender of the current position, Lieutenant Tussey's position, to patrolman.
Okay. I'll second that.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. If there's no further discussion, we'll roll call, or all in favor?
Aye.
all right.
Opposed, none? Okay. Was there any, there's no separate discussion, I assume, for Sherman Fisher? Is it? Would you like to make the motion, Blaine?
Can I do it this time?
Yes.
Sure.
Motion to accept the voluntary surrender of position of Detective Sergeant for Sherm Fisher.
I'd second that. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So it carries. Is there anything else you had to bring before?
Just to give the Board of Works heads up, since you are the openings currently, and we will be testing on February the 6th.
February 6th, we'll be testing for
So
hiring positions.
just wanted to inform you of that. So,
Excellent.
February
your time.
6th, you said?
Thank you,
Pardon
Chief.
me?
February 6th.
February 6th.
Thank you.
13th?
You know what, running in my head, is it the 6th or the 13th?
You said 13.
She's the secretary, she knows better.
Thank you, Sam.
13th. Thank you, Sam, for helping.
Sliding into your
You
new
should
role.
make her sergeant.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah.
I gotta see where I'm gonna put my,
So I have a question here.
sure.
Anything else?
Ravers. Okay.
I have
Yeah, we can get a
extra.
copy of that to you.
Hold on, hold on.
All right, is there anything that anybody would like to bring before the board? Seeing none, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.